Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Relationshots, the place to get practical relationship advice that actually helps and works in a relationship. If you've not already done so and want a free guide to intimacy, you can download that in the description area below. What we're going to talk about today are 5 principles for effective communication in relationships. You and I both know that you cannot have a healthy relationship without healthy and effective communication. And there's a big difference between just talking and actually communicating. So if you've been frustrated at the communication levels in your relationship, if you feel like you are communicating well, but your partner is not hearing or receiving things well, then I got you covered today. We're going to go through these 5 principles. Before we do, I have a whole communication course, 19 videos, 4 modules, 12 worksheets that will help you comprehensively change the communication patterns in your relationship. So if this is an area of struggle for you, I promise you with a money-back guarantee that my communication course will help you get where you're trying to go in your relationship. You'll see a description area, a link for that, or I'll probably put a card up here as well. You can check that out. But for today, let's talk about 5 principles for effective communication in your relationship. Principle number 1 is you just need to be brave. Listen, I think we underestimate the emotional bravery it takes for a lot of people to actually express how they're feeling in a relationship. Now, some of you are super assertive, and some of you care less about the other person, so you say what you want when you want. But for a lot of people, if you're the kind of person that cares about how you impact another person, it can often be tough to express how you're really feeling, but you can't have a healthy relationship if you're not honest and genuine about how you are feeling and experiencing the relationship. You may in fact be experiencing the relationship in a completely different way than your partner, and they may be completely unaware of how their behavior is impacting you and how you are experiencing the same relationship. And I've done enough counseling to know that 2 people can come in and describe their experience in a relationship, and if I didn't know any better, I think these were completely different relationships. But sometimes it takes some bravery, so you may have to be brave to share your emotions because, yes, when you share your emotions and how you're experiencing the relationship, you do set yourself up for the chance of being rejected, of having your feelings minimized or invalidated, and so it can be tough. But I'm telling you, if you don't get to a place of saying, listen, my experience and my feelings are important enough that I need to be brave enough just to share them, you will never be able to effectively communicate in your relationship. So be brave. Thought number 2, principle number 2, is just focus on your needs. Too many times our needs get discounted in a relationship because of the way we try to communicate our needs. So when we're communicating our needs, we need to be specific about what we need and want in the relationship. Oftentimes when we're trying to express our needs, we do so by highlighting our partner's shortcomings. And when we highlight their shortcomings, guess what happens? They get immediately defensive, and our needs and desires get lost in the translation. So I would encourage you to use words like I want, I feel, I need, because those will help you focus more on your needs than the other person's shortcomings. For instance, I want to be able to trust you, but when you are untruthful or when you leave out details, it makes it hard for me to trust you. That's going to be received a lot better than you lie all the time, I can't ever trust you, I don't know when you're telling the truth, I don't know why you leave out details, it's suspicious. All of those are highlighting the shortcoming of the partner, causes them to get defensive. Now they're not even hearing you. So things like, hey, I want to feel like you value my opinions, but when you contradict me, when we're out in front of friends, it makes me feel devalued, right? And so you're expressing what you want, you're expressing what you need, you're expressing how you feel, and you're focusing on the needs, not on the partner's shortcomings. That will help you to be heard in a much better way than if you do it by highlighting their shortcomings. Thought number 3 is be specific. We are too general in communication sometimes, and when you're general, the actual reality of what you're trying to communicate gets lost because we're a little bit ambiguous. So you need to be real specific about what you need or what you want or what you're experiencing. So saying things like, I don't feel like you care about me is too general. Saying things like, when you don't call or text me throughout the day when you're gone, I feel like you don't care about me, which may then even be followed by, I would like or I need you to just shoot me a quick text in the day. Let me know you're doing okay. Let me know you're thinking about me. Be specific about it. General is you don't love me. Specific is when you don't hug me or kiss me or touch me, it feels like you don't love me. So be specific about your needs. When you're general, I promise you the communication is going to get lost. So don't just assume that they know what you're saying in between the lines when you say something general like you don't care or you don't need me. Thought number 4 is don't blame. Again, when you blame somebody, their immediate reaction is to get defensive and discount whatever you're blaming them about. So quit blaming them and just focus instead on the thing that you desire and that you need from them. Blaming is always going to elicit some kind of defensive response, and it's going to get you in a conflict, and they're not going to hear the thing that you're trying to present to them. So instead of blaming them, which is assuming motive on some level, I just want you to express what's really going on. Don't put it all on them, and just express it to them in a way that they may actually understand and hear it. And the 5th principle is be assertive. Listen, I don't know how else to remind you and tell you that what you need, what you desire, what you want in a relationship is valuable. We've been sitting in this world that I'm getting a little tired of, that has gotten us to a place where we are convinced that our needs, our desires, our wants from a relationship is no longer important because we're supposed to be independent, we're supposed to be self-sufficient, we're supposed to focus on self-love, and it's almost like if you have a need, a desire, a want in a relationship, you're somehow weak, you need to be able to stand on your own. Now, I realize we can go too far into codependency where you're depending on somebody else for something that you do need to take care of yourself, but we get in a relationship because we actually have emotional needs and we need another person to care about our well-being, and that's okay. So when you have needs and wants and desires, you need to be assertive with it. It's okay to have those, and it's okay to express those. And when you express those, it will not guarantee that the other person will validate them, care about them, or want to try to meet them. That's on them. But it will at least let you know whether the other person is actually showing a willingness to care about your well-being in the areas where you say, I need, I want, I feel, I desire, right? If you're never assertive about them, you're never going to know if the other person has any interest at all or the ability in trying to meet them. And so too many people stay in a relationship way too long that is never going to fulfill or serve them the way they desire to be served because they're never assertive about what they really need in a relationship. So I would say being assertive will speed up the inevitable, which is either this person cares and is willing to want to try to meet those needs, or will attempt to meet them, or they're unwilling to, and you're going to find that out sooner rather than later. Either way, I'd like to know, is this person willing and able to meet me where I want them to meet me, or are they not? I don't want to find out in month 9, year 1.5, year 5, because I've never been assertive about it. So be assertive about what you need in a relationship. That will help your communication. So there's 5 principles that I believe will help you communicate effectively. If these are helpful and you want a course that I promise you will help you get to where you need to be, talking about how to speak each other's language, how to evaluate the climate, and much more, you'll see a link for that Closing the Communication Gap course in the description area below. That will help you improve your communication in your relationship. I'd love to hear your thoughts on communication, what works for you, what has not worked for you, what turns you off in a relationship, what prevents you from trying to communicate in a relationship. Drop a comment, let's talk about it. If we can help you in any area of your relationship, would love to do that. Let us know how we can be a part of your relationship journey. And until next time, we'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.